Hi everybody, Megan Bullington here. We have a recipe for today and we're going to make miniature pizzas. So Reese, my assistant, is going to help me and we're going to talk about some ways to maybe get your kids to eat some more vegetables. I went ahead and made the dough. Now the pizza dough is not my recipe, but I will be happy to link to it down below. It is a gluten-free, grain-free crust. I'm going to go ahead and start these in the oven and then we're going to get started on the next thing. Okay, now we're going to start on our pizza sauce, and you're not going to believe how ridiculously easy it is to make pizza sauce. All you're going to need is 8 ounces of tomato sauce and 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. We're going to throw these in the pan together and heat them up while we're working on our toppings. We're just going to heat this up on medium while we work on our vegetables. I'll show you what I already have. I went ahead and fried up some bacon, so I have a little bit of bacon here. I fried up some sausage. I have a little bit of sausage to put on the pizzas as well. And I have some diced pepperoni. What we need to work on is shredding our cheese. Now, 4 out of 6 members of my family are dairy-free. So if you're dairy-free or low carb, then stay tuned because I have options for that as well. Okay, now we're gonna grate some cheese. Now I've got my grater here and it has a guard on it. Now, the grating plate is still sharp, so if you're not okay with your kid grating on that, then don't do it. Reese is almost 9 and I'm right here with him, so I'm fine with it. So he's going to go ahead and he's going to grate some cheese. Good job. Got a little going underneath there. There you go. So here's what we've grated. Now only 2 of our pizzas are going to have cheese on it, so we didn't grate much. Our pizza sauce is warmed up. I've turned that off and it's cooling down. And now we're going to use our manual food processor. I've got some spinach in here. Your kids might not touch it, but if you can sneak a little on there, that's a good way to get some greens in there. Hide it under the cheese. I'm going to have Reese use the manual food processor again to break this up just a little bit more. We're going to kind of dice it finely. So go ahead, Reese. Show who's boss. Go ahead. You'll want to make sure that when you're done, you pull the blade out of here because the blade is sharp. But Reese has cut up some spinach for us that we can throw on pizza as well. Next, I have some red onion that we're going to thinly slice for throwing on the pizza as well. I've cut my onion in half and I have it right here. This is a simple slicer and you can choose how thick you want your slice. I'm going to put it on 1. I'm going to make it really thin because if my kids are going to eat onion at all, it better be sneaky. This is your blade guard. You're going to put that on there. Now again, the blade on this is sharp. This may be something that you don't want your kids to do unless they're a little bit older. So I've got it right here. Want to try, Reese? All right, go ahead. There you go. So Reese is helping me. He's doing a good job. Onion always makes me a little bit emotional. Okay, so I've got my thin slices of onion and you can see that's a 1. And now we are going to cut up some bell pepper and that's all we're going to have for our pizzas. Okay, so I have an orange bell pepper and I'm going to cut that up also for the pizza. First I'm going to cut the top off. And this part Reese could actually do. We're going to use the scoop loop and scoop out the seeds. So you want to do that part, Reese? Put it over here.
I'm just getting this all loose.
Just scoop it out, bud. Alright, good job. Okay, so we've cut the insides out, and I'm also going to use my simple slicer. I'm going to leave it on 1 because that's how thin I want them. So I'm going to throw this bell pepper on here, throw in my simple slicer. Okay, so now I have some very thin bell pepper, and you could cut it in half from there if you'd like for your pizza. Our pizza crust has been cooking for about 15 minutes. Now we're going to put our toppings on and put it back in the oven on 350 for about 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to start with our pizza sauce. Okay, so we have our sauce on there. We're going to put the cheese on for the 2 that do get it. We did have to wash our hands after touching cheese before we touch anybody else's. So Reese, what do you want on yours? We have red onion, bell pepper, spinach. Do you want any of those vegetables?
A little bell pepper.
A little bell pepper. And I'm going to throw a little red onion on everybody's. They can at least try it. Reese is in charge of pepperonis. I'm going to throw some spinach on. And Reese is going to top it with sausage, and I'm going to throw on bacon. Alright, we're going to throw these gorgeous pies back in the oven for a few minutes, and we'll show you what they look like. Oh my goodness, it smells so good in here. It smells like a pizza place. I'm gonna do one more thing. For the pizzas that don't have cheese on them, you can really feel like you're missing that. So we're gonna add a little touch to it. I have some dairy-free ranch. If you're on Whole30, it's actually Whole30 approved. And I've put it in my chocolate drizzler. So there are multiple purposes for this thing. I kind of love it. And we're gonna drizzle some ranch on our pizzas that don't have cheese to give a little more flavor to it. But it smells fantabulous. Thanks for tuning in. If you like the video, please subscribe below. We really appreciate it.